Hey now, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of IoT Nuggets with IoT Group, and I'm Doug Cohen here out of Detroit with M10 Social, and I'm joined today, as always, first by Mr. Steve Brummer, the illustrious Steve Brummer of IoT Group.
And I have no idea where I am, so it's okay.
He has no idea where he is. Could be Atlanta, could be Florida, could be New York.
Could be Jersey.
He's a man about the world, and he can't keep track. But he's moving and shaking and making things happening, making things happening.
That's good.
That's good.
Okay.
But we're also joined today by Mr. Chris Bursey, the president, the CEO of DCS. And you can reach DCS at dcsbusiness.com. And we're going to get into that a little bit. I want to do a little housekeeping here and remind you that bhiotgroup.com is the website, and that Mr. Steve Brummer and John Hubler and the rest of the folks over at IoT Group are available for 30-minute consultations to help you start to formulate and determine what your IoT strategy might be and what your deployment could look like and how to bring it to market. The Internet of Things, that's what we discuss on these IoT Nuggets shows. And we are pleased to have Mr. Chris Bursey here today with us, one of the leading hardware, software, platform, technical service providers in DCS. And we're going to talk today about a few things, helping restaurants become more efficient, which is one of the really cool verticals that DCS is involved in. And with that, I'm going to pass it to you, Steve, and you and Chris can talk about it a little bit.
Excellent. Thanks, Doug. Chris, thanks for being on. As usual, we're very happy to have you here and have you share some of your nuggets with us. So,
thank you, and always a pleasure, Mr. Brummer.
Thank you. So, Chris, give us a quick elevator pitch on DCS and what you're doing and what you're focused on.
So, from a high level, DCS is really a technical services provider, right? And by that, I mean, IoT is the buzzword. IoT is where all the attention's going. But,
remember machine to machine, Chris?
Machine to machine, and but all the way back. But when you really boil down an IoT solution, it's hard to just offer a cookie cutter solution, if you will, right? So as a technical services provider, we really pride ourselves on engaging with the customers, listening to what their needs are, and then being able to pull the right pieces together from the ecosystem, be it hardware, platform, connectivity, whatever the requirements are, and giving that solution to that customer that really fits their needs and allows them to effectively and efficiently run their businesses.
Many of the times on these IoT Nuggets, Chris, what we really try and do for the audience is give them some nuggets of use cases and success stories. Can you give us one or two real quick so that people have a better feel for why they should call you and why they should get involved with you?
Sure. So, if you look at, say the fleet side, for example, to start with, when you look at a fleet of vehicles, a vehicle, a trailer, all the components that go with it, there are multiple points of data that you can harvest, and then being able to harvest that data and give it back to the fleet manager or the owner. Those points of data are diagnostics, driver behavior, fuel, idling, tire pressure monitoring, you name it. There's a whole swag of things that, it really comes down to what is the end user looking for to manage those assets. One of the areas that we're really moving into now is on the bar and restaurant side, where we're in the process of finishing up developing and designing our wireless beer keg monitoring system. And then from there, we'll be able to monitor the kegs of beer in the restaurant, provide that data back on, ounces poured versus ounces sold, temperature, CO2 pressure, shut-off valves for liability and so forth. But from there, it really becomes the hub that you can take and expand within that restaurant to touch all those additional points that provide valuable and critical data from a machine, an asset, being it, walk-in refrigerator, HVAC, compressors, doors, glycol chillers, CO2. There's all these points that provide valuable data. And, that's what we're really, driving towards for, today, tomorrow, and the future is, being able to collect all that big data, harvest it from our side, and then give it back in a usable fashion.
Excellent. And, Chris, we've all, you and I and John, we've been in this business a long time, seen a lot of different changes that are in the industry in so many different ways, from platforms to software to hardware. But, one of the big things about DCS is that you are the one answer, the one you provide all of the elements and all the pieces of the ecosystem for a restaurant owner or for a fleet or for someone, even your new sensor product that you just came out with. Are you finding that is really what customers are looking for, is, a single throat to choke and to get all the things they need for the problem solving from you?
I would say yes. And then I would also say, we give that potential customer the ability and flexibility to, we're big believers in, what do you need and what do you want? Those are two different things. If we can give you what you need from an IoT solution to satisfy your needs, and then later on what you want, it's really a win-win for the customer. But, as we all know, the industry is very fragmented in the sense that, multiple hardware components, platform choices, airtime, connectivity, there's all these choices. At the end of the day, I don't think the end users want to be involved, nor do they need to be exposed to that. Yeah. We just give them a solution that does what they want and allows them to, use that data to run their business efficiently and effectively. And at the end of the day, it's hard to do that with a cookie cutter solution, right? Because everybody's requirements are different.
Great. Chris, that's it, man. Thank you so much for being in it. Another episode of IoT Nuggets down the tubes. But
thank you.
For us, it's all about teaching and education for the audience, and that's why we do these short, quick bursts. When they get, it's just information sharing and education that we think is one of the big missing pieces. So everybody,
I would like to say, if I could, before I go. You mentioned a free 30. You mentioned a 30-minute consultation from BHIoT Group. I highly recommend everybody take advantage of that. It will be the best 30 minutes of your life. I promise you. Because I have. So
we might have to get him out in the air more.
Thank you. Listen, I rely on you guys a lot. I leverage you guys a lot. It's a very collaborative industry, small industry, and I appreciate you guys, and the value you bring is amazing. So
thank you so much. I appreciate it. Well, we feel the same way about you. So thank you again for being on, Chris. All right, Doug. I know we went over, but welcome to the real world.
Hey, that's okay. This was a great one. And that is a great plug for BHIoT Group. and I gotta say,
is John watching?
No, we're trying to keep him off.
He's watching somewhere for sure. But I would add, I love the tech, and this is not a space that I actually work in, other than now this collaboration that I've had with BHIoT Group over the last couple months, which I've enjoyed a lot. But what I really love is the tech, and from a layman's standpoint, when I hear the things that you're doing, just in the vertical of restaurants, for example, I know that this past year and a half was really disruptive for a lot of industries, and certainly the restaurant industry, and the ones that were able to adjust and find ways to be more efficient were the ones that were able to survive this pandemic a little bit better. And I think when you've got technologies that can help them carry some of those things forward into the future, that's really exciting for me, even as a business owner, of a photography studio and digital marketing. That stuff is really exciting to me.
I'll tell you, I think now more than ever, the automation factor is crucial to these guys. Just coming back in the bar and restaurant and just trying to manage your, your perishables, trying to manage your cash flow. How much, food do I need? How much, this do I need? It's it's critical, and it's hard to hire people right now. It's hard to hire people in the bar and restaurant space. So, this is the next best thing.
Yeah.
So, Great stuff.
Hey, thank you guys, and let me know if I can do anything else for you. And good luck tomorrow with your golf game.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
We'll do some R&D on Bursey and make sure that it works accordingly. So
great. Awesome.
Sounds great, gentlemen. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and make sure to join us on the next episode of IoT Nuggets. Go to bhiotgroup.com. find
Or
ways to connect.
YouTube. We got the YouTube channel you can go to. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
YouTube channel, follow on LinkedIn for sure, connect there as well. And make sure you go to dcsbusiness.com as well to connect with Chris's company. And we'll see y'all on the next episode of IoT Nuggets.
Got it. All right. Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.